Hi, Ken. Thanks for meeting with me and setting up this conversation, because I really wanted to talk to you about, first of all, your experience with the Garner Players. How did you learn about the program? Had you ever acted before that program?
I never acted.
Did you have an interest in
Never
theater?
had an interest to act. What happened was, when I got assigned to Garner, I went to the library. I used to go to the library every day. I had an old friend that is doing a lot of time there. So I used to go in there and sit down and chat with him. And Mark offered me to come down one day and check out the theater program. And asked me, was I interested in doing theater? At that time, I still wasn't interested, but there was nothing to do, so I said, well, let me go down and check it out.
It's a place to go, right?
It's a place to go.
Yeah.
And I went down and I seen so many people, how many people was really interested in doing it.
Right.
So I did it, and I sat back for a while, and I began to like it.
So what drew you to it? When you say you like it, what did you like about it?
It was the challenge of memorizing the lines.
Really?
Yeah. It was really asking myself, can you really read this script and memorize this script? It was really challenging for me, and I had nothing but time on my hands.
Right.
So I would sit back and read my lines and memorize my lines. And as I was memorizing my lines, I would put myself in that character, and I'd walk around.
Did you find that? I'm sorry. Did you find that spontaneously happening as you're reading the lines over and over?
I did it so much that, I was trying to find the right character while reading the lines, and I did it so much where, it really became a part of my daily thing. I would walk the yard reciting my lines,
right,
and just trying to find out the right character for that role.
Right.
And it was challenging, but it was awesome. It was an awesome experience because the finished product really came out, and I really liked it.
And you love performing. Did you love performing in front of people?
Well, I was into public speaking before I even got into theater arts, so I'm not stage fright, and I like crowds. I like working in front of crowds, and it's funny because I never used to do that. I got a little bit of music background, playing in the church and things like that,
right.
But never this big.
This big a program.
Yes, never this big a program.
So when you're in the program, you're working with guys that some in some capacity, see them around, people. What's the difference when you're in the environment of the theater class? In terms of camaraderie, collaboration, respect, vulnerability?
I didn't think that the guys, being that it's in a prison setting, the vulnerability, I never thought that I experienced what I experienced in those classes, because the camaraderie was awesome. Mm-hmm. The vulnerability was awesome. I mean, the openness and everybody just willing to work with one another. I mean, it was amazing. They really made me feel a part of, and I'm the only one that made it out, that came out. All the guys that I work with on the inside, they're still in there.
They're still in there.
And they'll be in there for a while. But I learned a whole lot from them because, they just, they really birthed me. They birthed this thing out of me that was deep down inside, and I never knew it was there.
You never knew it was there.
You never knew it was there.
So in this setting of the classroom, and especially in rehearsal, and as you say, finding a character and developing a character and needing to be vulnerable to show that, because you're showing something that's lives inside you to people. Did that make you change the way you saw yourself in any way?
When I began to work in the classrooms, because I put there was another element to that, the applied theater was the creative writing.
Right.
And what happened was it challenged me to look within myself, and find what it was that was that had me stagnant.
Okay, that's interesting.
And then working with the other guys and just seeing them be so open and share some of the things that they share, even in their acting, in their poems, in their writing, it just brought what was in me to a head.
So things that you had never explored in yourself became apparent. And how did that feel when you realized that all this was in there?
Some of it was painful because I had to relive some things that were painful,
right?
As a child. But getting into the applied theater class is what allowed me to go ahead and move past those things and grow. I mean, because had it not been for applied theater, I'd probably be stuck, still, and wouldn't have been able to go ahead and deal with a lot of things that had me bound.
So it was a breakthrough.
Oh yes,
for you.
Most
Very
definitely.
much a breakthrough for
Most
you,
definitely.
and something that you've been able to continue
Right.
to work with. Even now, how long have you been out of Garner?
I've been out of Garner for about 2.5 years now.
2.5 years, and so before we move on to that part of it, I just want to talk about the writing part of it, because the program is one of very few where people write their own work. A lot of the work that's done in the program is original. And how was it for you? Did you write any of the work that you performed, or that anybody else performed?
I didn't write any of the work that I performed, except for I wrote a couple of poems when I was inside in my creative writing class.
Right.
And it really opened me up. It really opened me up to move past and just hear a lot of what the other guys wrote. Really catapulted me to go ahead and come out of my shell,
right,
and just be open and honest, because it was those things that had me really messed up.
Right.
And so creative writing, I was challenged to just write about me, and then stand up amongst 30 other guys and read, what you wrote,
right,
and just expose myself like that was, wow, it was very challenging. But after, it was really soothing.
Really soothing.
Because I found out that I wasn't the only one that was going through those things, and the other guys shared those same feelings and experiences that I did. And being able to go ahead and be open in a group setting like that, especially inside of a penal system, was really, really, really a healing start for me.
That is so great to hear. That kind of exploration through the arts can be so healing. And so I just having the opportunity to do that, to go there and have the security of the safe zone around you where everybody is also doing that. That is great to hear. So you become an actor in the program, and then you like acting.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And what do you like about acting?
It's a challenge.
Learning the lines.
It's a challenge. Just learning the lines. You really have to be conditioned and committed to doing it, because it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. You got small scripts, you got medium scripts, and you got big scripts. It's really hard and it's time consuming.
Yeah.
But if you have a knack and you have a passion for it, then it's well worth it.
You definitely have a knack for it. Having seen you and directed you many times, I think your work is so impressive. But again, you're in a situation, acting is so collaborative.
Yes.
And you once said something to me, you were working with somebody and you said, I need him to give me something, and it's a give and take.
Right.
That maybe is not something that people who are in the DOC system would have been familiar with.
Right.
Is this dependency and give and take and reliability. Even just you forget a line, somebody's going to have your back. Somebody's going to get you to the next place.
It's funny you said that, because when I was inside, we did a play called No Child, and I got that camaraderie. Oh, those guys, even though, some of the parts were strange because they were women parts, and the guys played them. It was funny, but it was so fun. But they gave me that energy that I needed to feel off in order to go ahead and do my part and be the person I was supposed to be in that play.
Right.
So I got that energy, and I was able to feed off those guys, and that's what it is for me. I mean, just follow my fellow, what do you call them, thespian?
Mm-hmm.
Follow my fellow thespian and just going with it, and it was excellent.
And build that energy.
And just build that energy.
Yeah. So you've kept up with it.
Oh yeah.
You've kept up with it. Now, how did you find yourself back in theater once you were? back at work and
I was at work, and I was thinking about Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I called Mark. Mark told me he was about to retire, and he would look me up once he left the Department of Corrections. He did.
Mm-hmm.
And he introduced me to you.
Mm-hmm.
He had some work in Newtown and asked me would I be interested. I said, oh, most definitely. And we've been in contact ever since. Done several shows with Mark. And he's a great guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I really owe Mark a lot because it was him that gave me the opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to go ahead and bring this unhidden
This thing that lived in you. Yeah.
out, you know.
Yeah. And there is, I think you find also in theater, if it's not acting, there's something for everybody.
Right.
You know, in tech or stage managing, whatever, that there's something for so many people.
Right.
They don't, everybody doesn't have to be an actor, but you definitely have a skill set for it. So have done a number of plays in the area and continue to seek that kind of work and gotten involved in your community as well.
Right.
So what are your plans?
Well, my plans is just to keep on trying to be an actor, and just go forward. I don't expect to get rich in this thing, because I love what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't do it for the money. I do it because I'm seeing now it's a gift, and you know, from where I come from is a word in my church says that your gift will make room for you.
Oh,
And
I like that.
so, you know, it's also another term that says, he who has will be given more. And he who has not, what he has will be taken from him. Meaning, if I continue to use what I have, then my craft will excel.
Right.
Once I stop, then just as a weightlifter, your muscles begin to atrophy,
Mm-hmm.
shrink up and diminish, and you just lose that. So I just want to keep on in it and stay in it and stay in it and stay in it and continue to do it.
Now you and that's absolutely true, and something that I share frequently with the guys in the class is that you may have a gift, but if you don't exercise your gift, it's a silent gift.
It's a silent
You can't
gift.
share it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a really good point. You also work with at-risk children.
I do.
And you speak with at-risk
Mm-hmm.
children. So tell us a little bit about that.
I'm a part of CHAMP, a Community Hands in Action Mentoring Program, here in our great city of Bridgeport, where Officer Ruel Parks is the director and founder of this group. And what we do, we work with at-risk kids. We go into several schools every year
Mm-hmm.
and talk to assemblies of 7th and 8th graders. And my thing is I just share from life experiences, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cut any corners. You know, I don't use fear tactics as a motivation for change.
Right.
I allow myself to be transparent, you know, and share from experience and out of a great concern because our kids need it.
Yeah.
They need it.
So you are in this place and fortunately ran into somebody, Mark, who was running a applied theater program. Do you think that children, younger children, well, middle school children or younger children, high school children, would finding that earlier in their life and the opportunity to exercise their craft in theater could change the path of their lives in some way? You think so?
Of course, because if you know, I'm a father, and most kids are actors anyhow. From the age of 1 until they grow up, they're always trying to emulate or do something, you know, and act out. So they're actors. I think it's a natural in them, and I think given the chance or opportunity to bring that thing there, I think we're all actors.
Right.
You know, just given an opportunity to go ahead and bring that out, it'd be an awesome thing.
It's all about, it's a play. It's a
play.
play. It's play. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. But it does have the power to change identities
most
and
definitely.
see ourselves
Most definitely.
completely
Most
differently.
definitely.
So the sooner that we do that, and in terms of programs, you know, for men who've been released, do you think that is something that would help people to to move forward with their lives and be
I-
less likely to take a giant step backwards.
I think it is because the average person just want to be a part of.
Right.
They want to be a part of and something positive, in the right direction. I personally think that the majority would get on board.
Yeah.
I think it's an excellent program.
It'd be a great
program.
opportunity
It'd be
to
a great
provide
opportunity
that.
to
Yeah.
provide that,
Yeah.
for other guys, especially those that's been in there and want to continue. Because even from the outside, I'm so touched back, by my brothers. I call them my brothers on the inside that have been continuing, what I'm saying, to write these plays and these poems and these books. They have no idea the impact that they've made, what I'm saying, on me. And I'm so honored to go ahead and be able to work with them and show their work. You know what I'm saying?
To the general public.
To the general public.
To be able to bring it to the community.
And I think they're doing a great thing.
It's great work, isn't it?
It's great work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
it's empowering too.
It's very empowering.
And also the opportunity, as you've seen, for their families.
For their families.
To come and see their work.
And see their work.
It's very powerful. So to give them an opportunity when they're released to continue to do that, because we all have to go to work,
right?
But to have that part of our lives that allows us to express ourselves and
That's
to
right.
have fun with something and to feel that collaboration is super important. So there's a value to that. So moving forward, you continue to plan to act.
Yes, I do.
And
as long as they continue to write, I'll continue to act.
I'll continue to call you. And I love working with you.
Thank
you bring
you.
such first of all, expertise and professionalism.
Thank you.
To it. So I'm honored by that, and find that really elevates the game. It elevates other people, and that's super important to bring that. But moving forward, to just create more opportunities is and something you'd be willing to participate in.
Awesome. I surely would.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you so much for doing this. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.